Hello and welcome to another episode of Crypto Charts. I'm Fausto Botelho, and here we use our experience in technical analysis and try to extract logical indications about the future behavior of prices of cryptos. We've been talking about the stock markets, the US stock markets as well, because as I said many times in other videos, I think there's going to be a crash, and I have solid justifications for that. So we'll start with the S&P that I'm showing right here, and let's take a look at what's happening when the S&P reached this important resistance level. Have we reverted? No, not so far. We can't say that, but I wouldn't be surprised if the reversal of what I believe it's only a reaction of the downward trend that's going to start would begin, right? So again, why do I think a bear market is starting? We so far have had three upward movements. We've had a double top. We've broken the support trend line. That's 9 years of support trend line, and we are actually with a situation in which we have consecutive lower tops and lower bottoms. So that marks a bearish trend. But now we've had this spectacular recovery here, which, as I said, I think it's just a reaction, and that will be a nice place for the market to reverse. But first thing, it has to break this support line here, and then of course for the bear market to establish, we would have to break all the supports that are going to be found along the way. I would point out 2600, 2440, and 2360, which is the last low. So that said, let's go to cryptos. Zip water here, and we'll start with Bitcoin. So wanted to show you this channel, which is what I'm working with nowadays. And considering that channel, there is one important thing to notice. We would have had wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 already, right? So the point is that if that's how we should count Elliott waves, then the last movement was this one here. Last movement started in wave 4. So we have this movement to project forward in order to try to find an objective. And that, well, that's huge, because that takes us to $300,000. Yeah, a little over $300,000. At the beginning, when I thought that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and I thought I was projecting actually the wave 3 from down here, but later on well, actually that was until recently, I realized that actually wave 3 starts in wave C. So that would be the size of wave 3, and that's comparable to the size of what I think now is wave 5, right? And it's also comparable to the size of wave 1, which was bigger, but not, well, actually quite similar. No, this is similar because that's the same segment that I'm taking from here, and for you to just realize that wave 1 was very similar as well, to a little bigger, but similar, right? So I'm placing the waves here, and then I projected that wave over there. The other projection would be for us to project wave 5 of wave 5 starting from now. Well, that's all considering we are reverting. We've seen a bottom, right? And I'm going to talk about that in a second. So that would project us to $75,000. Well, they're both very optimistic projections. I don't have any clue about when it will get there, but I know that that's an upward movement that can be achieved in a year. 75, for instance, was achieved in 2017, right? And there's other movements here in the past that would easily take the market to 100 tau or even to those 300 tau in a short period, maybe a year or 2 years or something like that. But anyway, it's a huge possibility for Bitcoin. Now, considering the last dump that we seen last Sunday, I just want to mention that the market didn't prove anything in terms of bearish momentum for the moment, because all we've done was so far to come back to this resistance line that I think is going to be called a neckline of the inverted head and shoulders that I think we saw here. Left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. So until the market comes, I would say below 3,600, because that line is a bit flexible. We could move it to here. So the market could eventually drift down here and reach this area here, doing something like that. I'm showing you the daily chart, right? So that wouldn't surprise me. So far, nothing's happened. And one interesting thing is that all these last bumps of Bitcoin, this one here, and this one here, happen the day after or within some days of a pump in Bitcoin Cash, which is here. Actually, I'm seeing a daily chart, yes. That was today's Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. So the day after Bitcoin was pumped, Bitcoin was dumped. Bitcoin SV was pumped. Where can that take us? Well, it would only be a consideration that these pumps that Bitcoin has passed by were eventually provoked by one person or one organization, and eventually it will be overcome. What we're seeing today even is that the pump that happened in Bitcoin Cash didn't work out, and we're having this awful engulfing pattern today. So eventually Mr. Craig Wright will stop dumping Bitcoin to try to pump his coin, right? Let's see what happens. Anyway, that was the next coin that we're taking an eye on. Now, Binance, I'm very optimistic in Binance. I commented in some of my videos that the launching of a chain from Binance is something very powerful. People will be willing, those that are creating tokens that don't necessarily need a smart contract, they will be considering to put their project in Binance chain, because by using Binance chain to run their projects, using Binance blockchain to run their projects, will eventually benefit them when it comes to be listed in Binance. And the gas that will have to be paid in that chain will obviously be Binance coin. So it's another very important use case for Binance coin that belongs to the biggest broker in the world, and that I think is going to benefit a lot in the next upward movement of Bitcoin. So fundamentally, I'm very fond of Binance coin, and what we can see in the chart is that it is, well, it has been outperforming Bitcoin ever since, and we're in the top of this outperforming trend. And now Binance is actually testing its all-time high. I wasn't very worried about Bitcoin having broken. Actually, it broke the all-time high and then it came back because I think there wasn't actually a complete breaking of the all-time high. See, this day here, that was the 19th of February, the market went upwards, above the all-time high, but it closed below. And the other day, that was the 20th, the market also left a long upward shadow. So I wouldn't consider that a break of the all-time high. I would say that we could say, if I was to report these days, I would say that the market was testing the all-time high. And it's, I think, still testing, accumulating in this accumulation here that we, I don't know, but I think that might very well be a continuation pattern. So I'm still bullish, very bullish in Binance coin. The projection is very optimistic. We could project this long rectangle here over here, and that would take us to a upward movement of 100%. Or else we could project this upward movement here from the bottom here, and that would take us to a upward movement of 476%. So it's wait and see, and it's good now because we can think of placing a stop very close to where we are now. We have to choose, if you're entering long, whether you're going to place your stop here or here or here or here, right? Depending on your risk parameters. So that's it for Binance. Now, Link broke actually its all-time high, came back, made what I suppose was a pullback to the former resistance level of the all-time high, and then it reversed, but now it's reversing back. So we're keeping an eye on that, and for that we go to the hourly chart to see whether we have a clue that the bulls are taking over. So taking an eye for that reason. Dash broke this resistance line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 almost, right? And now it's flagging, we think it's flagging up, so we're keeping an eye, and we're trying to figure out whether the bulls are going to win this battle here. So far, the market has decreased, has come down, but we're keeping an eye on that, right? I think maybe we could be taking a look in this resistance trend line here in the hourly chart of Dash. But we're bullish on Dash, except maybe it's not the right timing yet. Now Ethereum broke this resistance line 1, 2, 3 only, but came down back, and we think that might be a pullback, but keeping an eye on it. Hourly chart, yeah, came further down today, but let's keep an eye on it also. Icon produced as a bear trap as it broke this support here that was its all-time low as well, and then it re-entered this area, and now it's testing this resistance. So that's why we're keeping an eye on it. We draw what is supposed to be a triangle here. Market is escaping down this triangle, but we're keeping an eye on it. Litecoin, as we can see from far away, looking with zoom out in this chart, has everything to be doing a continuation pattern here, or maybe not, or maybe it's going to show us that this is a double top. We have to wait. If it's a double top, it's going to break this level here, and then we're going to be projecting this height downwards, and maybe it will be coming to touch the support line. But if it holds the support here, we're probably seeing a rectangle, and then there's a good projection up. Monero is accumulating under this support trend line, so we think it's going to come down. It's going to break the support at 0.012, and it's going to test its all-time lows. NEO, well, NEO broke a very important resistance line, accumulated, and it's apparently escaping this accumulation. We have a support line here, around here, that is, well, it was a resistance line that was, or maybe here. Let's zoom this up. So this seems to be a upward flag that is forming right above this resistance area here, and that's very bullish. So that's why we're keeping an eye on it in the hourly chart, where we can see what is that going to be. That could be just a flag, right? I don't know. This could be something like an edge or a symmetrical triangle, something like that. We want to see when the bulls, if the bulls are going to win this battle here. If they win, we think market can go up quite a bit. Now, Omai's Go is on the hourly chart. Now, Omai's Go has broken this resistance trend line, and it's also flagging up above a resistance that has just been broken. So, again, we go to the hourly chart. Market has deteriorated on the last hour. Let's see if it holds where it is now. So same thing. There's a battle here. We want to see if the bulls win this battle or give us any sign that they're going to win this battle. We're entering in. And next one is Ripple. That we suppose it's on a symmetrical triangle. So it gave signs of life day before yesterday, and again we are going to be taking a look at maybe this resistance line here, that if broken would give us a good clue that maybe this upward trend line will be tested, and that it's a reason for us to enter. This is one of the top 10 coins, as everybody knows, and that would be a small upward movement of 13%. But if we see something like that, then we have, and if we project that from the low here, then we have a lot to go, right? We'll be talking about from here, considering the market would break this resistance line, that would be a 70% upward movement to go. So keeping an eye on Ripple too. Let me put them all in daily chart. Now, what's happening in Stellar? Stellar tested these support levels with a drift pattern, and now it's testing these resistance lines. So we're keeping an eye on it. I can't say whether this is a accumulation. continuation or reversal pattern. We'll find out. And finally, waves, which we think it's accumulating in a continuation pattern. So we're keeping an eye again in the hourly chart to see whether the bulls are going to give us a sign that they're winning this battle. The sign would be if this resistance level would be broken. Then we'd put a long position right here with a stop right below. That stop would be 6.5%, and the projection would be this one here. Upwards would be meaning a upward movement of 150%. Not bad at all, isn't it? So this is it for today. I thank you very much for watching the video until now. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Follow our videos, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.